Hey, it's the A Ton of Stream. Feel free to send in stuff for feedback. You can also subscribe to the stream and send me stems and get a mix. And tier 2, you can get the trackouts from that mix. How incredible. What a deal. This is the way that the stream works. This is the way that the world works. It's Monday. It's getting started. And, I'm also building a studio, so there's going to be a lot of chair streaming, a lot of hanging out, a lot of me wrapping cables, building desks. Um, you know, there will be downtime. But let's get this stream banging. No proper style. Yesterday was good. Did an office stream at studios. All right. Go live on TikTok. That's terrible. Great. Let's go. Woo. All right, just hit that feedback command in chat. You can feel free to send me a track, get a little bit of mastering style feedback from it. We're just getting started. I'm waking up. I'm drinking coffee. Head on over to twitch.tv/unof for the best chat experience, in which I will definitely see what you have to say, if you happen to be aware. Subscribe to the stream to be able to send me stems to get a desk mix. How fun. SSL, Eve, Miracle Labs, others, all in the party. Transients are our friends. Dial D&B. Thanks for the follow. What's up, man? Yo, what you working on today? I'm gonna take a wild guess and say drum and bass. Yeah, send it on in. Here's how you do it. Send me that track. Already did. All right. Nice.
I feel so paranoid.
Hey, a rule follower. Love
I
that.
just can't seem to focus on you and this deliverance. Feel the pain in all this silence. So I phone up all my friends. They told me to go see a doctor, but I ignore what they say. I feel so lost, and I can't hold on. Nothing's holding me back. I feel my anxiety. Can't seem to breathe. It's controlling me. Guess I'm going back under. Light blinding me. I need some therapy.
Yeah, you could send another one.
Luxury is having nothing to do but decide between Taco Bell's new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes.
Oh,
a classic $5 box or an indulgent $7 box. Or the adventurous $9 box. Okay, I'll do the $7. I mean, 9. 5, 7. Wait, what am I doing? This choice is yours. Whichever you choose, get Lux for less with a $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings box at Taco Bell today. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price of participation varies. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
I've been lying, all in private to myself, love denying, and brushing off my call for help, moving closer, closer to an understanding of you. It's all I wanna do. I can only wait around for so many days. How can you be so locked up, set free? I can only wait around for so many days. Why can't you see we've never been free?
Okay, this is really good. This is a great track. Love the arrangement, love the sound design, everything that, makes track a track. The low end is really nicely managed. Kick and sub relationship is fantastic. The way that the sub rolls out, it's very natural, it's not clipping like I hear a lot on like D&B mixes these days. I think it sounds great. It blooms. It like kicks the subs. It's pushing air. Uh, there's a fair amount of kind of useless sub information, like below. I'd say for this track, like 17 hertz. Like I just go and get rid of that throughout the track. You'll get a little more headroom, a little more clarity. You've got some unnecessary rumble. Uh, that's pretty like just like basic. Uh, the where I think this could use a little bit of sprucing up. So this is like a very pleasantly conservative mix within the style, which I think makes it like very modern. It's pretty flat. It's not like over exaggerated on low end, which I think is serving the music nicely because it's a very it's a pretty complicated arrangement, which I really like. Now that piccolo snare is first off, it's great. It's like it's tight. It's like tuned nicely. It and you're doing a lot with it. Like you've paid so much attention to this snare. Really cool stereo effects and everything. It is dominating the mix in a way that it feels like unstuck from everything. And I would say that like with that piccolo snare, it's tuned super high. I wouldn't really want to bring it down. It's more like I would focus on going into like your synths and the vocal. I'd go like synths vocal, like mostly synths, mostly like melodic stuff, and find ways to bring them kind of into the snare region. I'm talking like 3 to 6K. That it's like you've got that nice like even out low end. It's not muddy, but it is like the mix as a whole is a little bit aggressively scooped in the upper mids. Yeah, an EQ would be good. Um, so it's like that 3 to 10K, 3 to 6K certainly, and just go and look at synths and kind of think of it as making it the snare in that region. Snare can still be a little bit in front because of the style, but it just feels like the synths are way under it, up in the upper mids. So like an EQ saturation, if it's feeling unnatural with the EQ boosting, get some harmonic content in there, and then I think it's quite nice. Hey, for sure, fun to listen to. It's a good track. Always appreciate a good track. All right, it's Monday, just getting started. You could send me tracks for feedback. You could also subscribe to the stream and send me stems and get a board mix back. How exciting! Come on, internet. You were doing so good for a minute. Got this. Got this, little internet. All right, we're back. experience are our friends. Detoxing, what's up? Much love right back to the UK. Thanks for the follow. What are you working on? Nice. Another streamer, I'll follow you right now. Nice. So many stream intersections here. Yeah, it is. Which audio is it's the best. Yeah, I'm keeping it. I'm past the danger zone. Late 30s. I'm good to go. All right. Yeah. You're looking solid. Blessed. File's great. We can do links. With the file I can like better, it's not through like streaming compression or anything, so it's a little more detailed. But if all you have is a link, that's cool too. Oh, also, sorry, you got spam foldered. I was just waiting for nothing. 1 second. Yeah, for sure. Take a listen.
Yeah, you call me, saying I should take you back, say you miss me. So I'll leave her in the past, like some history. Said I ain't repeating that. Yeah, you fooled me once or twice, but I ain't coming back. Call me, saying I should take you back, say you miss me. So I'll leave her in the past, like some history. Said I ain't repeating that. Yeah, you fooled me once or twice, but I ain't coming back. No, you will never see me coming back again. I stare into this barrel and I see her, baby. I just blind and it's my fault for constantly letting them in. You can make sure that it's fine, just don't let them win. Yeah, I pretend evil way I know I'm falling. Stuck up in my own abyss, off to the place I'm lost. Yeah, they always doubt me, never let me blossom. All these people bugging me, so I'm losing caution.
Yeah, I'm stuck inside a maze. By that shit, I mean my brain. I can deal with all this rage more than a kick on the window pane. I just wanna have some peace, leave you as a memory. That's the next you're dead to me. Cupid left you in February. Looking back on what we done, yeah, I guess we had some fun. All along, me, not the one. Pack your shit, cause bitch, we done.
Wouldn't it be nice if we were always in control of the when and where
Ads.
in our lives?
Yeah, yes, I'll get.
Okay, cool. Song is good. I like the vocals. I'm wondering, are you using loops? Did someone make the track? It's gonna there's a couple of things to get addressed here, and just like I'm wondering what you have to work with in the mix. Okay, cool. Main vocals. So, but like the guitars, are they in the beat? Like, do you have what all do you have the ability to mix separately? Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna go with like it's just vocals and then everything else, which is like a classic thing. So the 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 vocals sound good. Yeah, you've got an EQ on the beat. You might have done a little too much, basically. So as this stands, this is just a bit muddy. All right, everything is like really bunched up from like 200 to 500, and the guitars are really tucked in. So what I would do is use so in the situation where you just have vocals in the beat, the my go-to tool is the TDR Nova. And here, I'll screen share real quick. This will be a little bit janky. And not bad. Sure, we'll go with this. Yeah, you're on FL. I mean, you can use plugins on FL. So the TDR Nova is completely free, which is one of the. All right, internet cut out for a second. Looks like we're back. Pesky. Okay, yeah, we're good. So TDR Nova, it is free and fantastic. I have other things that are like, paid for, and I still find myself using the Nova pretty often. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the beat, all right, and you're just going to make it, you're going to put it on the beat bus, all right? So first thing you're going to do is make the beat sound super full. Get rid of all of the like cuts that you've done and just get the beat sounding fantastic. All right? This isn't the strategy when you have like full, stems and everything, but when you've just got the beat and you're putting vocals on a beat, just like really focus on the beat first. Get it sounding absolutely killer. And then what you're going to do is you're going to sidechain the vocal into the beat on Nova. So you're going to go to the sidechain option and select your vocal. Then you're going to have the vocal duck the beat whenever the vocal comes in. And that's how you're going to mix the vocal into the beat, where the vocal takes the prominent spot when the vocal comes in, and then it ducks out, and then the beat, like the guitars, the everything becomes like center stage. And you just need to get the attack and release, and you don't want it to duck too much. We're talking about like 3 to 6 dB, so that the vocal comes in front when it's in, and then gently doesn't like obviously pump the mix. And you're going to be looking at doing that between like 500 and 2K on the beat. Otherwise, you're just going to run into this problem where the everything gets kind of like inherently muddy. The beat lacks power and all that. And this is like my my go-to tool for that, the TDR Nova, 100% free. Transients are our friends. Hey, thanks for the sub. Nice one. All right, which I think leads pretty naturally. Folks, this is the A Ton of Stream. For anyone watching, you can hit that feedback command. It gets feedback on your mix anytime I'm in the studio. For anyone subscribing at tier 1, you can send me stems and I'll do a mix. No revisions, and it's like 1 per song. That way it kind of differentiates between studio work. But that mix goes through SSL and stressor. So nice. Tier 2 subs. Thanks, man. You're doing a good job too. Tier 2 subs. You can send me stems, and I'll send you back the track outs, so you have a little more to work with in post. Fiddle with it. You can get that, that board goodness and some flexibility. All right, and here is that feedback command for anyone looking for feedback.
Get you those figures today.
Mom, check it out. I learned a new song.
When and where you choose to do something can make all the difference. At University of Phoenix, we make it easy to balance work, family, and school. Plus, with online classes 24/7, you get the freedom to learn when and where you want. Start your degree in tech, healthcare, or business today at phoenix.edu.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu!
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Yeah, you call me, saying I should take you back, say you miss me. So I leave her in the past like some history. Said I ain't repeating that. Yeah, you fooled me once or twice, but I ain't coming back. Call me, saying I should take you back, say you miss me. So I leave her in the past like some history. Said I ain't repeating that. Yeah, you fooled me once or twice, but I ain't coming back.
No, you will never see me coming back again. I stare into this barrel and I see it, baby. At this point, and it's my fault for constantly letting them in. You can make sure that it's fine, just don't let them win.
Yeah, I pretend even where I know I'm falling. Stuck up in my own abyss, off in the place I'm lost. Yeah, they always doubt me, never let me blossom. All these people bugging me, so I'm losing caution. Yeah, I'm stuck inside a maze. By that shit, I mean my brain. I can deal with all this rage, more than a kiss on the window pane. I just wanna have some peace, leave you as a memory. That's the next you're dead to me. Cupid left you in February. Looking back on what we done, yeah, I guess we had some fun. All along, me, not the one. Pack your shit, cause bitch, we done. Yeah, you call me, saying I should take you back, say you miss me. So I leave her in the past like some history. Said I ain't repeating that. Yeah, you fooled me once or twice, but I ain't coming back. Call me, saying I should take you back, say you miss me. So I leave her in the past like some history. Said I ain't repeating that. Yeah, you fooled me once or twice, but I ain't coming back.
No, you will never see me coming back again. I stare into this barrel and I see it, baby. At this point, and it's my fault for constantly letting them in. You can make sure that it's fine, just don't let them win.
Yeah, I pretend even where I know I'm falling. Stuck up in my own abyss, off in the place I'm lost. Yeah, they always doubt me, never let me blossom. All these people bugging me, so I'm losing caution. Yeah, I'm stuck inside a maze. By that shit, I mean my brain. I can deal with all this rage, more than a kiss on the window pane. I just wanna have some peace, leave you as a memory. That's the next you're dead to me. Cupid left you in February. Looking back on what we done, yeah, I guess we had some fun. All along, me, not the one. Pack your shit, cause bitch, we done.
Hey, Daydreamer. Did we catch you?
Yeah, this could definitely slap, you know. It's in there.
Yeah, you call me, saying I should take you back, say you miss me. So I leave her in the past like some history. Said I ain't repeating that. Yeah, you fooled me once or twice, but I ain't coming back. Call me, saying I should take you back, say you miss me. So I leave her in the past like some history. Said I ain't repeating that. Yeah, you fooled me once or twice, but I ain't coming back.
No, you will never see me coming back again. I stare into this barrel and I see it, baby. At this point, and it's my fault for constantly letting them in. You can make sure that it's fine, just don't let them win.
Yeah, I pretend even where I know I'm falling. Stuck up in my own abyss, off in the place I'm lost. Yeah, they always doubt me, never let me blossom. All these people bugging me, so I'm losing caution. Yeah, I'm stuck inside a maze. By that shit, I mean my brain. I can deal with all this rage, more than a kiss on the window pane. I just wanna have some peace, leave you as a memory. That's the next you're dead to me. Cupid left you in February. Looking back on what we done, yeah, I guess we had some fun. All along, me, not the one. Pack your shit, cause bitch, we done.
Joseph, what's up? So, mastering, I do pay what you can with a kind of like suggested sliding scale of 50 to $100 a song is what I'm basically doing these days, but I never let lack of funds prevent a client from getting a high quality match. That is a firm belief. And also, greetings to YouTube. Looks like we got some YouTube happening. Primary chat. It's trying. We're back. All right, I'm building a new studio, and in the entire like office complex, the Wi-Fi is a little bit spotty. So bear with me, everybody. Gage over on TikTok, what's up? I'm back. I'm not frozen anymore. But yeah, for anyone watching on any other platform, I will probably see your chat, but I am definitely going to see over on Twitch, twitch.tv/a ton of. I hope that everyone survived the zero internet moment there. But we're so back. Yandrick, what's up, man? I'm just getting all my buttons in order here. But if you're working on a track, feel free to send it in for a little bit of feedback. But also, twitch.tv/a ton of best chat experience. I'll definitely, be real time there, and all the commands and stuff are We're locked and loaded there. Twitch for sure. That is my maximum lock-in. That's twitch.tv/a ton.
Transients are our friends.
Verified DNT. Thanks for the follow. Now we're locked in. Nice. I just dropped the feedback command in chat. That's how people send me stuff. What are you working on? Nice. Yeah. Send in a track. Take a listen. All right. Night Watcher 2. All right.
Yeah. Stole your heart like a thief in the night. You don't wanna do wrong, but you don't do right. You wanna blame it all on me when it all goes wrong. Stole your heart like a thief in the night. You don't wanna do wrong, but you don't do right. You wanna blame it all on me when it all goes wrong. But I can't let you. I can't let you know. It's always been a difference. But I had to let you go. It's something I've been missing. Something in my soul. And I know I be wishing all my feelings were just gone. I said, damn, I miss my daughter. I said, damn, it look life getting harder. I don't wanna start over, but I know how we are. Throw your heart like a thief in the night. She don't wanna do wrong, but she don't do right. You wanna blame it all on me when it all goes wrong. Throw your heart like a thief in the night. She don't wanna do wrong, but she don't do right. You wanna blame it all on me when it all goes wrong. But I can't let you know, no. And I can't let it go. I can't let you no more. It's time to move on. And I feel this shit in my soul. I say, God, let me know. God, only show what I need to do. 'Cause you know that I stole your heart like a thief in the night. She don't wanna do wrong, but she don't do right. You always blame it all on me when it all goes wrong. Stole your heart like a thief in the night. She don't wanna do wrong, but she don't do right. You always blame it all on me when it all goes wrong. Gotta save my soul. I love you from a distance. Pain is getting old.
Well, nice. This is an early thing, so I don't want to go like too hard into the paint. But I mean, like this is your voice is nice. I would be curious to hear something a little more recent. Since you've developed, you've learned more and everything. Because like my overall thing is there's like there's kind of like a buildup of like kind of like extreme low end, like on the vocal, like, below 30, like that could just be gone. Kick is a little bit over accentuated in the mix that could get tucked in. There's nothing really egregious here. I feel like there could be more like attention to detail and kind of, automation things to make it feel more alive and dynamic. Bandwidth restriction there. But yeah, a little more dynamic here and there. Some pans, some volume automation. But yeah, no huge complaints on this. I'm just curious about where it's at now. That would be fascinating. Nice, and it's over a 2-track. Nice. I mean, I think you did what you could with the material. Excellent first time.
Yeah. Stole your heart like a thief in the night.
Yeah, send in something a little more recent. That'd be great.
You don't wanna do wrong when you don't do right. You wanna blame it all on me. When it all goes wrong. Stole your heart like a thief in the night. You don't wanna do wrong when you don't do right. You wanna blame it all on me. When it all goes wrong. But I can't let you. I can't let you know. It's always been a difference. But I had to let you go. It's something I've been missing. Something in my soul. And I know I be wishing all my feelings were just gone. I said, damn, I miss my daughter. I said, damn, in the life getting harder. I don't wanna start over, but I know how we are. Throw your heart like a thief in the night. She don't wanna do wrong, but she don't do right. You wanna blame it all on me. When it all goes wrong. Throw your heart like a thief in the night. She don't wanna do wrong, but she don't do right. You wanna blame it all on me. When it all goes wrong. But I can't let you know, no. And I can't let it go. I can't let you no more. It's time to move on. And I feel this shit in my soul.
Shawty know that this shit's a fact. Shawty know that this shit ain't cash. Shawty know that that's a fact. She get the cash, she bring the dash.
Shawty thick as fuck, she bad as hell. Fuck a bitch, I don't know too well. Spend a little bit, not too much. You spend too much, man, I ain't play. Cut me off, bitch, I don't care. Call me broke, bitch, don't you dare. Crazy that you think you special. Bad bitches be everywhere. 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 These bitches that flooded the market. It's okay to believe that you're special, little bitch, but this ain't the red carpet. Hell nah, a little bitch better stop it. Hell nah, a little bitch better stop it. Ain't nothing you can say with your mouth. That's probably gonna make me pull it off. Now hold on. Probably yeah, that noggin. Yeah, she giving the shit, she giving the dome. Giving a dog a bone. Now that she freaking shit, I'ma leave her alone.
I just feel like Bitch, fuck with you, girl. Like, you ain't even gotta do all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, fuck with me. She gon', you know, she gon'.
She gon' bring me that check cause she know I'm not chase. She playing you niggas, she telling you niggas she ain't a day. This shit a disgrace. She ain't even got no place. She's got a fat ass and a pretty face. What you mean you ain't got no credit? What can you even bring to the plate? Gotta pay the ticket cause you lame. Don't hate the play, nigga, hate the game. I swipe your bitch, nigga, I'm spin the block, come take your chain. SSL, nigga, that's my name. Bad bitch, nigga, that's my lane. Getting money, nigga, that's my main. Being real, nigga, will never change. Thick as fuck, she bad as hell. Fuck a bitch, I don't know too well. Spend a little bit, not too much. You spend too much, man, I ain't play. Cut me off, bitch, I don't care. Call me broke, bitch, don't you dare. Crazy that you think you special. Bad bitches be everywhere. 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 These bitches that flooded the market. It's okay to believe that you're special, little bitch, but this ain't the red carpet. Hell nah, a little bit best stop it. Hell nah, a little bitch best stop it. Ain't nothing you can say at your mouth. That's probably gonna make me pull out the. Probably, yeah, that noggin, yeah. She giving the shit, she giving the dome. Giving a dog a bone. Now that she freaking shit, I'ma leave her alone.
Shawty know that this shit's a fact. Shawty know that this shit ain't cash. Shawty know that that's a fact. She get the cash, she bring the dash. Shawty know.
Yeah, that is an improvement. There's still like a bit of that like fluff, like unnecessary low end, you know, below like 30 hertz on a few things. Kick is a little bit clippy. Sometimes that's, you know, in vogue, but I feel like it's a little bit out of place. Vocals still sound great. Vocals sound even better. It's good. Stream foes. Am I back? Are we so back? Come on. Come on, stream. Should be good. It should be good. I'm building out a new studio. It's in like a giant like. You didn't hear anything? Cool. So the track is good. It is an improvement. There's a little bit of that like extreme low end, you know, below 20 hertz that could get chopped right out of there throughout the mix. Vocals sound good. A little bit aggressive on like the low end clipping, kick and everything. I'd probably like dial that back like 20%. But it is definitely an improvement from that other one. And like constantly improving is the you know, that's the move. I'm in San Francisco. Yeah, nice. The view is great. Vibes are good. Weather's good. It's I think it depends on what you want to get out of it. It can be. I kind of think that any skill is all about what you put into it. So there are people that like go to school and don't really put in the work or like develop the hard skills, and I'd go like, well, that's not worth it. You just spent a bunch of money to do it. Um, I think that in audio, there are a lot of opportunities for like very hands on, like apprenticeship style learning that is ultimately cheaper and in many ways, I think, can be more high quality and intense. That I think is, and it also has like a long history, like those kind of skills. Music in general, 1,000-year history of apprentice style learning, journeyman, and I think that those opportunities are prevalent. Uh, yeah. So lots of opportunities in that world. But that said, oh, Full Sail, I wouldn't. I mean, so here's the thing. I think that there are like a lot of people that like if you're really into audio and you're really like you're down to just like work like stagehand working on up, I think that you can get all of those skills for like you'll get paid to learn them, you know? Uh Something like in a school environment, it's a little bit more relaxed, I think, than like an on the job training. And it can work like if you have access to like, the top stuff. But that said, I mean, I don't like the things that kind of like advertise themselves as like engineering schools like Full Sail. They're they're like incredibly predatory with like the loans and the payment structures and everything. And there are like community colleges that have like more, I would say, experienced professors. Like I think that you could find um like within like a community college, like in your given area, there's usually uh like an engineer that like teaches like a practical class or something. Like generally, like it's 9 times out of 10, but your community will have like a local like experienced sound tech or experienced studio engineer that teaches like a class or two. And again, the bang for your buck is much higher. I mean, I think the best way is to, like, again, find like a local studio, find a local sound production company. They're basically always hiring like entry level positions, or internships. You're not paying. I mean, it's not great, but I do like I said. I mean, like I would go with like you know on the job training. That's like top notch, because I think that like sometimes like a school, especially something that's like a little bit predatory, like offers like, oh, what you're gonna get is connections. You're gonna get connections, but the thing is that you might not develop the hard skills to execute upon making a connection. And then that said, one of the best ways to like make connections, meet artists, work for artists is to like work in the field and do good work. That it does just kind of, I don't want to say it just happens, but it does. Like if you're I mean, it happens through being active in working in your
Transients are
in your
friends.
town, in your scene. Bleak. Yeah, I am doing. Here's how you do it. But it just happens through putting in the work, developing like, the yeah, absolutely. So, work try to find like, local companies, local studios, live work is so like live sound way less glamorous, but always work there, and that's where you can like network and meet a lot of people, and you can like show your face and show that you're like, you know, dedicated, and you're gonna meet people at the highest rate out in live sound environments. So like I think that's like really top tier. And then if you're looking to like develop skills in kind of like a school environment, I would look at like community colleges, and I would put something like Full Sail, like absolutely like last ditch effort. Like you're at the bottom of the barrel and like you have absolutely no hope. I mean, I feel like if I made like an application to Full Sail and I was like, my name is Petey the Squirrel and I have been lobotomized, but I have $35,000. Here's my resume. I think that Full Sail will be like, we accept Petey the Squirrel, like without equivocation. Thank you for the $35,000, Petey the Squirrel. Sleek, what you been working on?
Transients are friends.
Roy Vex, thanks for the follow. How's your day going? Hey, doing pretty good. What you working on? If you're looking for feedback, here's how you do it. Just send me that track. Bam. Oh, you're going into Mac world. I refuse. Good on you. Not my vibe. I like the flexibility. Nice. All right. Maybe someday. I don't know. I'm pretty old. I'm set in my ways. All right. You're in. You're fully in. You've adapted the ecosystem. Oh, nice. Back into artist email. It's all good. I am in no hurry. I mean, welcome. Sometimes I feel like maybe I need to explain this stream a little bit to new folks. I am not a high energy streamer. I am I am very down to just chill, and when music comes in, we take a listen. Uh there's no bells and whistles. I do have an emote wall, so that's kind of fun. That. But no, I'm hybrid. I'm digital and analog. For mastering, it's like yeah, exactly. Exactly. I've got those big mastering engineer vibes. Happy to, work on something for you. Man, I am not. We're getting a track from Roy. There's kind of and then I don't do like unless someone is like giving me explicit permission, I never do client work on stream. No one wants their tracks leaked. Yeah, artist now, engineer later. I'm not strictly a mastering engineer. I do have this entire mixing desk. Um but yeah, I'm primarily I'd say that, it's like primarily the way that I think is in terms of mastering, and that is also how I kind of approach mixing. Which is like it's a little bit of a niche thing. Hey, you're controlling the means of production, Roy. Though there is something nice about, getting a second pair of ears on something. Let's see, my go-to plugs. Again, so it's like kind of like my thing with plugins or tools of any sort is I like to do a fair amount of consistency from session to session. with the flexibility of like swapping something out if it's not working, not going like, every problem requires a hammer. Um, so I feel like I'm not like, oh, this plugin is fantastic or this hammer is really good. It's more like, things that I use, and I encourage people to kind of develop like a deep, knowledge of the tools that they're using, rather than going and like getting stuff. So, I'm pretty, personally, I'm pretty into the UAD and Kush stuff. Q4 is cool. Though that said, like, I mean, I have Q3. I use Q3, of course. But then, like, I've been using the TDR Nova, which has like all of the sidechain EQs and everything, and it's free and it's nice and it's super lightweight. So, like, Q4 is kind of like a little bit like redundant for me at this point. But yeah, I like load up my mixing template is generally like I do a lot of like bus processing. I do kind of like middle out, um, buses and then work backwards. So I have like my template has like a drum bus. I have like a couple of compressors on my drum bus that I like just like pop. I switch between real quick. I go like, oh, this track, it's the SSL. That's like feel, very mu, uh, diode bridge, the Neve one. Kind of like really quickly check that, and then that's kind of how I move. Hey, we've got a track from Roy. Take a listen. It's loading. Okay. Oh, you're in ad world. Okay, you're back from ads. The 30 to 60 is not so bad here, actually. Like, it's pretty well balanced. You don't have the penis type beat, as it's dubbed. So, I think that this is like a nice mix. It's pretty well balanced. There's a few things happening here. So hyper compressed. The old 2 LUFS master is pretty unnecessary in the year of our Lord 2025. I cannot make a good argument for it. I can make a lot of good arguments against. But I mean, like that said, like you're able to do it because the mix is pretty slick. It's pretty balanced and it doesn't have any like, immediate terrible artifacts. but it is rather unpleasant to listen to. Would be my, kind of my. It's very flat, and I feel like you have like a lot of detail in your synths and your arrangement. But it's just ultimately gonna feel like it is just the the sausage to the face. But if you're gonna do it, what I would take a look at is the snare. It is unstuck from the mix, so snare is like very forward, and at this level of compression, that snare is just like taking my head off. Like it has because there's no depth and there's no kind of like bloom or release. It's just like ice pick straight to the face. So like in this overall context, I would pull that snare into the mix a little bit. That said, I don't think it's as good as a mix at that point. So you're making a compromise. No compression. I mean, it's compressed from the fact that it's just pushing up against the ceiling. We have it's a dynamic range 1.4 -2 lufs. That is compression. It's the pure loudness is even if you didn't use a compressor, it has become compressed. So, I'd pull a snare in, but that said, if you're not working at like extreme loudness, then things like snares are able to kind of like sit in a little more of a comfortable way. They have the bloom, they can pull in and out, get the 3D, get the depth. Yeah. So, it's I mean, turning everything down, it's like you can't just like turn it down. You have to like kind of figure out like cuz are you mixing into the clipper? This is kind of like a whole gain staging kind of conversation where like if I just took this if we think about it like if I just turned this down, then it would still be incredibly compressed because there's no range between the highest volume and the lowest volume. Like, that is -5. It's coming in at minus, like you did send an MP3, so it's not like the final thing. But what is your what meter are you using? Yeah, you could send me wave if you want. This is like, what am I getting short term here? Yeah, okay, 4.5. I would just like I said, the mix is good, and I'm bordering on nitpicking here. It's just that like the snare is killing me, and it could be it could be like negotiated within this mix to like be a little more inside, or this thing that basically and I'm not like I disagree with a fair amount of like loudness wars analysis, like the things of like oh, for this
Transients
streaming
are friends.
platform, we need to hit this target loudness. The you know, I vehemently disagree with that, and also find like those, you know, those targets to be generally like too soft for like most modern music. You know, they're kind of like uh bordering on orchestral like loudness guidelines. So I am not, you know, a a law enforcement officer on this. But that said, there are like detriments to like extreme loudness where things where basically where I feel like where it starts to become like where you're compromising things within the track and within the mix that don't need to be compromised, because there's you know, in like a streaming situation, this is very silly. Like there is like, you know, there is loudness penalties, which I'm generally not yeah, it's not distort, like that's, I guess that's the thing. That's like, that is your base level. That's why I'm not like hard fighting this. I'm only medium fighting this, because the first thing is like, is it distorting? And again, you've got a pretty slick mix, so it works. So it's not distorting. Great. But the thing is that it does, like, after like many, you know, you set up like a pretty pristine monitoring environment, or you know, like in my live background, I'm a Detroit techno person, so like, you know, 24-hour warehouse parties, super hot systems, and the thing is that when the track has no dynamic range in those situations, in both like pristine monitoring environments and club systems that are like dialed out to the max, these tracks are small. They come across very small, and they don't have like the low end rollout, and they aren't as impactful as tracks that are, we run into a physics issue where the speaker has to move in and out, push air, pull and push. So things like bass, things like percussion, and no, is it distorting? No, but is it becoming small? As far as like improving the dynamics, that's where it's like, is this is it the master? Is it like, is the clipper taking like 6 dB off of the mix? Or is it within the mix? Are things getting compressed within the mix? Are they being constricted internally, or are they only being constricted on the master chain? So if it's just going into the clipper super hot and it's taking off, you know, like quite a bit, and restricting that movement and constricting the dynamic range, then yeah, go into the clipper less hot, you're good to go. If it's earlier in the mix chain, okay, yeah, you're doing 8 dB of compression. You're doing, and that, like, that's the thing. Clipping is compression also. So you're taking 8 dB off. You're constricting 8 dB with the clipper. Yeah, that's pretty extreme. So just like push into that less hot. Yeah. Compression is any time. So like, compression is taking the top of a wave, the amplitude, and bringing the you know, the lower amplitude up to it. That's compression, any way that you do it. So it's like a compressor compresses, but also a limiter compresses, a clipper compresses, distortion compresses because it's squaring off the top of the wave. So these are all forms of compression. So, you know, I would go push into the, just easiest thing to do here is go into put a gain plug in before the clipper, and probably take like 6 dB off. And then you might have like a low ceiling at that point. But it shouldn't. I don't know what clipper you're using. But basically, you know, put your ceiling back at, you know, minus 0.01 or whatever, and push into it less hard. If the clipper doesn't have a gain function, you know, an input gain function, then you can do a for hard clip. Yeah, not my personal thing. I don't know the exact buttons, but basically, go into it less. You could just do a gain plug-in before what you're already using. Because again, this sounds pretty good. Like, the sound is good, but what I can hear is that smallness. Which, again, you know, arguments for and against, I just find that if it's starting to make compromises that don't need to happen. Well, so this does need to be quiet. Like, yes, it does have to be quieter. That is part, like, it will be less loud. This is currently it is, I would call it, extremely loud and extremely compressed. So it will be less, which also, if you start to A/B them, you'll be like, it's worse, because we have dumb monkey brains, and it's this is how this all started. If you have two sounds and you immediately play them one after the other, this is why gain station is important in mixing. If one sound is just like a couple dB louder than the sound, and everything else is exactly the same, then your brain just goes, this sound is better. All right. But the thing is that like that betrays like long-term things. So like this goes into just like mixing. So like, let's say that we're EQing a sound. All right. And I boost 500 to 1K on an EQ, which is a totally acceptable move. And then I bypass that EQ and I don't gain compensate. I don't make them the same volume, like on a vocal. All right. So this is within the mix, but it's also within the master. This is everything. So 7 LUFS, much more reasonable. That's still in like electronic loudness, and that's to say that, like, again, I'm not like a numbers guy here. It's more like, does it feel more live? But anyway, so like, let's say we have this vocal and I have EQ'd, I've done plus 6 dB from 500 to 1K. I bypass that EQ to listen to the original vocal sound. My immediate monkey brain perception is going to be that the boosted vocal is better, because it's louder, because it's had 6 dB added to it. That is just like 100% of the time. You go and you click off that EQ, the louder sound is better. Nice. You've heard of this. So that's why it is, if you're like kind of like, well, it can't just be that the volume is turned down. It has to be that the two sounds that you're comparing are the same volume. All right? So it's like, I've got vocal 1, no EQ. Vocal 2, boosted EQ at plus 6 dB. If I just listen to those two, so it doesn't matter about the main volume, it matters about the volume between these two sounds. I click that EQ off, the boosted vocal just immediately sounds better to me. And I'm not evaluating if the EQ, because I'm all I'm hearing is volume. All anyone is hearing at that moment is volume. You're not analyzing if the EQ was good. All you're hearing is volume. So the EQ, that's why there are like outputs on the overall EQ, so you can bypass it and hear the same loudness, but with the EQ applied. So the same thing with mastering to get like that final volume. If you don't, so the thing is that if you take like a and this is like, this is tricky because the final loudness of your track is like, that is one of the things that we're determining. But the thing is that if you listen to like, if you take like a version of your track that is 4 LUFS and a version of your track that is 9 LUFS, and you just play them immediately back to back against each other, the version that's 4 LUFS will be the one that sounds better because it's louder. And, it's not distorting and like all that. But and that's your immediate perception. But the thing is that there are like further things that do exist. There are like games deeper than, because the thing is that if it really truly was that, exactly, the dynamics make it sound big, like over time, and on like, and what ultimately makes it loud, and this is the thing, is what ultimately makes it loud are speakers and amplifiers. And this is kind of like, that's kind of like a second thing, because the thing is that like, it is something that you can train yourself to hear. Like you can train yourself to hear compression in this way, where like it just feels like the track is flat. Like there's no depth to it. Because like when we talk about sound staging, there's width, which is kind of easy, that's panning. But then we talk about like front to back sound staging. It's a little trickier, but the thing is that like front to back sound staging is achieved through like amplitude, sounds coming forward and moving back. And in order for a sound to come forward, to be perceived as it's coming forward, and this is happening like by the millisecond, so we're kind of talking in ways, this is like pretty crucial, like we kind of like speak about these things in kind of metaphor that is like a little bit like more of like, it feels like it's unfolding over a longer time period, but these are like millisecond by millisecond. All right, it's kind of imperceptible in the way that we speak. So in order for a track to feel and sound like it has depth, that things are coming from the background and moving to the foreground, I mean, I would argue that they don't have depth. I think that those are like, that's the thing. It's kind of like, and that's the thing. If you want to do it, you can, because other people do it. But I also think that sounds like bad. Like it does sound bad. And then in like extreme like music festival situations and electronic music fests, the people that have tracks that sound the best are the ones that don't do this. Like full stop. And I know that people do it, and that's your reference track. Fantastic. You can do it, but it doesn't sound so, it just doesn't sound that great. I don't think that Virtual Riot has like like good depth to their final masters. Because this is a physics thing. This is physics. These people aren't scientists. Let me tell you. I have talked to these people. They're just like they're not something of a scientist themselves, you know? Because this is hard and true. Yeah, I mean, you could be a nerd about like your synth patch and stuff, but this is like a final. Uh, I think that people will argue for this, and I just don't think that the arguments are that good, because of like the end result of like first off how this phenomena works of sound staging, and then like first off, so that's just like within your file, sound comes from the back, moves to the front. It can't do it if it's not moving. Like it has to come from somewhere. The sound has to come from somewhere. In the Bobcats book, the example is the difference between like walking down the street and a jackhammer is going at 110 dB consistently, and an explosion happens that comes from nothing. There's stillness, and that explosion reaches 100 dB. The explosion is more impactful because it comes from, it comes from nothing and then reaches its full amplitude and goes back. Our ears, and you can use this as like the thing is that this can be, exactly, the brain gets used to the jackhammer. And you can use this like positively to the inverse, where you can hyper compress an element of your mix. You can hyper compress, like a sound or a moment, so that you can create kind of like a background that's easily tuned out by the brain. But that should only be like one element. If it's the entirety of your mix, if it's the entirety of your track, then all of it is able to be tuned out. Like it all exists as kind of this persistent like jackhammer. Do with that what you will. And there are parties, and they come on and they play their set, and it's loud and it's consistently loud and all that. But I just think, to what end? To each their own. But that's work on it for a second. So that's within the track. But then there's an even further thing in which this has to be played through speakers. And ultimately, when I'm live mixing, like electronic music, I can turn the quieter mixes up way more. They'll be louder on the dance floor, ultimately. So, like, if the goal is, like, loudness at the end, you can work a system harder. This is like looking for, they're listening on earbuds, they're listening on phones. There's just like a raw physics to it. Everything works this way. And also 2025. Some of these arguments were more valid even 6 years ago. But everything has normalization. Like there's normalization built into like headphones at this point. It's incredibly moot. It's almost like throwback. Like I'm getting some of that vintage hyper compression. It's like technologically no, for sure. You could like again, and I'm not like these are all scenarios. But in the year 2025 with like where everything's at, like streaming platforms, the playback systems, there's just like not very many examples where this is going to be like applicable. Okay, give me the scenario. Uh-huh. So are they? They're listening on headphones as the playback device, but what's it playing from? Are they playing it from, uh, are they playing it from Spotify? Are they playing it from YouTube? Are they playing it from a CD? Are they playing? Did they buy all of the wave files from the artist, which is incredibly unlikely, or are they streaming it, which is the like by far, uh SoundCloud. SoundCloud employs normalization at this point. You can turn it off, but the thing is if you're turning off normalization as an end user, then like you're aware of this. If there's normalization enabled, then no. The dynamics, the more dynamic track will not be quieter if normalization is on. And then what I would further say is that your track sounds worse for no reason when you do this. Like, I guess the reason is perhaps I mean, are you uploading to SoundCloud and listening like from SoundCloud to SoundCloud, or are you playing back on your DAW and listening to SoundCloud? Like, are they? Yeah, I mean, maybe they're louder. Send me a track on SoundCloud. SoundCloud to SoundCloud. Send me something. Find that track. Also, when you have a chance, I'm curious, what are you monitoring on? What is your setup? Nice. Good headphones. Headphone mixing does have
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
I'm not happy with the way PG&E handled the wildfires.
PG&E asked customers about their biggest concerns so we could address them one by one.
I totally understand.
Teresa, Regional Vice President, PG&E.
We're adding a ton of sensors. As soon as something comes in contact with the power line, it'll turn off so that there's not a risk that it's going to start a fire.
That's something I want to believe.
PG&E's safety work reduced wildfire risk by 90%. Hear what other customers have to say and what PG&E is doing about it at pge.com/open-lines.
Ads.
Become aware of this sound.
Okay, so what I would posit in my critical analysis is that this sounds fucking horrible. Like, it's like, in that like brief millisecond, like it is distorting. Like, and so your mix is much cleaner. Yeah. This sounds like shit. Like, and it is cool. But that's the thing. Like, and I understand, like, it has a lot of plays and stuff, but this is kind of like, you know, good for them, you know, and I understand that things have a lot of plays, but this is kind of like a thing that perpetuates. It's like, this is a thing that we do because this has a lot of plays, and it's like in and of its, like, it's done for the sake of itself and not in an analysis of how it sounds, which again, you can do it because, like, yes, I understand you're competing and that if you just take the two and monkey brain goes like louder is better and all that. But the thing is if you're listening to a human being that like has like a relatively decent set of ears or like listening on like with a degree of care, this sounds fucking horrible. Which it, and the thing is that like it doesn't have to. I like drum and bass. I like this kind of music. I like the music itself. But in an effort to just like compete for the sake of competing with loudness, this is compromised, you know, to a point. This isn't a great mix. Yours is better. Prefer it, you know, hats off. Okay, yeah, so like I can hear like, you know, there's compromises being made. It's like, it basically sounds like super bandpassed. Like the way that you kind of get here is you like kind of like accentuate like upper mid-range, so it's a little bit harsh. That's probably why I don't like it very much. But like if you listen to like the bloom of the sub, which again, you're on headphones, and you know, I hear stuff like this, but there's absolutely no low-end air push. So like when you go and you put this on a dance floor, like that's where like subwoofers they're not gonna like, because you want to feel it in the air, and that's where tracks like this will suffer. Yeah, you could send, sure. I try not to like talk out of hand unless I'm like directly, unless I'm like directly working with someone. But yeah, okay, yeah, pushing air. So the thing is that like, again, this is inherent to like, that is an inherent compromise to doing like extreme loudness. Like, and again, if I just like listen to 2 tracks, if I listen to this and then something else is quieter, I'll go like, this doesn't hit as hard as that louder track. That's my immediate perception. But like, if I take a second and go like, what's up with the sub? Like, then I can start to critically analyze it. Yes, especially your low end phase. That is 100% correct. Hell yeah. Anyway, it's just like, I want things to sound good. That is like that is my entire thing, which I also understand is not everybody's thing, but it has to be somebody's. Somebody has to be like, hey, what if this sounded good? Which is kind of like, this is a little bit of a side effect of like the fall of the music industry, which I do like the democratization of like, you know, everyone's their own label and everything, but there was like an important crucial step in the there was a crucial step in the process where someone went like, hey, does this sound good? You know, they asked like, hey, does this sound good? If you can hear stuff like this, no, music doesn't get unbearable because there's like loads of stuff that doesn't sound like shit. Like, you know, yeah, I guess it's a little bit unbearable to go listen to like, you know, people with 30,000 followers on SoundCloud. Like, yeah, I guess that's a little bit unbearable. But lots of things sound good is like, ooh, that's what's nice. Like, stuff sounds good. Anyway, it's not even like a treasure hunt. I mean, this is like I guess that's the thing too. Sometimes people get like very like, they get like really into this niche and they're like, this is everything. And this is actually like not. It's actually like it's an increasingly small segment of a small segment. And you know, it's kind of like being in a cult. Where it's like, what? The Father Jericho was lying about the end day prophecy, you know? And this is a little bit of a like, if everyone jumped off a bridge, would you? You know, it's like, they're like, I swear the bridge sounds good. It's like, the bridge kind of sounds like shit. It's cool. I like it better than that other track. It's a bit flat. It's a little bit flat. It's a little bit muddy. A little bit over accentuated in like the extreme low end. But like it's pretty good. The song is good. It's pretty slick, and the sub is definitely rolling out nice. Good. Yeah, again, I don't think that it has, like, that's the thing. It just, like, it doesn't have to do that. Like, that isn't, like, I understand that, like, other things in the playlist are doing that. And, oh no, what if the sound engineer has to push the fader, like, for a second? Because I guess that's also where I'm thinking, like, okay, well, like, let's make money. Let's do a show. Let's do a party. There's a dedicated engineer, and they are doing, like, ideally they're good. That's their job. Make the speakers do the work. Great. Get the things in. That's nice. But again, the compromise to what end? Yeah, or like a phase rotator. There's a few ways to get that going. Yeah, delay or even like zooming in really, really far, lining everything up. Well, nice. It's pretty good. You're making good music 3 years in. Don't try too much. Interesting. Hmm. Here's what I would do. Here's my ultimate recommendation. I think you should go find some stuff. I think you need to get off SoundCloud. All right? Here's my first, like, get off SoundCloud. Go find some stuff that you like and invest like $50 into buying like reference tracks. Like go to like BeatStars or Cubos or, Bandcamp, anywhere that you can buy the WAV files. And get a nice mixture of stuff. And deliberately go find stuff that isn't like in the 3 to 5 LUFS range. Get some of that. Because you can learn from, it's like, yeah, you can learn from it. You can learn like the the slick flat mix and all that, which, like, slick flat mix, it's fine. It's not egregious, but it's not something that I think is like, again, I think it's a compromise for no particular reason. That'll be like my, put it on my tombstone. But I think that you should go find these reference tracks, go scour, crate dig, research. And yeah, absolutely. Grab some stuff that is super loud. But then also find some stuff that sounds fucking killer that you like. And there's D&B, there's like, high energy electronic music that is sitting in that like 7 to 10. And force yourself to also study that and bring them in as references. Then you can even like, because then the next thing is like loudness match a super compressed track to a track that isn't super compressed. That's where you can hear, because ultimately when they play out on the dance floor, they're gonna happen at like roughly the same volume, all right? Or if they're normalized in a playlist. And that's where you can start to train that, where you can hear what that compression does. That's what's interesting. So anyway, go get those tracks. It's better than buying a plugin. Just investing in like 50 reference tracks. Yeah. That's basically it. There is if you ever see like video of like a monitor catching on fire, like a electronic show, it's it's a thing like as a tech. And like when you're and I guess a lot of DJs don't fucking know anything. It's just like the truth. Not all, but most. Having worked with many. And like just never trust them on anything like this. Because when you tech and you tech parties and you tech like the biggest electronic music fests in the fucking world, these are things that you have to know. And that you, and again, like, there's an attempt to go like, hey, don't redline your mixer or whatever. But it's just like there are physical constraints of speakers. And ultimately, if the signal is too hot, if it is too compressed, if it goes in every single time, when it redlines, that's compression. When it goes into the mixer too hot, compression. When it goes out, into the speaker itself, that's it's compressing, and eventually when the dynamic range is too constricted, too limited on a speaker, it will cease to work. It will start on fire. So the way that you mitigate that as the live tech so that you don't start a fucking speaker on fire is you turn it down. Like that is your only recourse when you're getting mixes that are this hot. Your solution, the tool that you have, there isn't like a decompressifier like somewhere on the board. And also you're 10 hours into a show and like someone comes on and this is their whole set. What you do, the solution that you have, the only thing in your arsenal is turn down. And that's it at the end of the day. And that's like how you make money. Like that is your, like You're not going to get rich off SoundCloud, you know? You have to play shows, you have to perform, and you should be thinking about like what you're performing with. 24-bit. You're not making CDs. Dithering is for when you like go to a lower depth rate. So no, it's unnecessary. Yeah, it's better. I'm flipping back and forth between the two, and this is like, you could do like quick and dirty normalization when you're like comparing something like this, and you could do it on your own. So it's like I'm taking like 3 dB off of the original like hot version, so that they're playing at the same average loudness throughout the time. And so then you can kind of hear like what's actually changing. And basically you just have like a little more of like low end depth, a little more of that. Okay, yeah. So I mean, like, that's a thing. That's another thing that I would do. So I would get those references, and then I would do like that A Bing. And if you can't hear that there was A Bing, then it's a way to kind of like train, do ear training. Nah, full on A Bing. And yeah, start to develop that like sense, and like start to like really listen for like how percussion like impacts. Like that's something to focus in on, and listen to like the bottom of your low end. And that's those are where you can like start to hear it really clearly. All right, I'm gonna the snare, you might have like turned it down a little too much. No, the second drop, that's fine. I don't know. I'd go with fine. Anyway, I should eat lunch. I'm gonna take any way you can better it. I would kind of like take these. I would take these concepts. I would think about them, and then I would do like, because I'm not gonna be like put the splongle on the snare and boost the fingerizer. Like it's just I don't think I don't think anyone actually learns from anything like that. So I think like those reference tracks, go crate digging. All right, digital crate digging at a variety of loudnesses, and then bring those into your session. Stop using SoundCloud. No more SoundCloud for you for a minute. Get to know those reference tracks inside and out. Load them into your session and reference them within your session, within the mix. And start to craft your mixes like in that direction. And in your own personal works. Yeah, sure, in the train, for sure, but not. I mean, like professionally, like in your productions, like during production time, cease to reference the SoundCloud. Stick to your high resolution, high quality reference tracks, and then do like normalization within it, between tracks, and listen to the difference between like extremely constricted stuff and a little bit looser dynamic range. Yeah. All right. I need to eat lunch, so I'm taking